Hey everybody, so it's time to plant some garlic. I wanted to show you guys how I'm planting garlic this year, and I've showed you before, but I think each year is a little different, so it's pretty helpful to just get a refresher. I've got about 200 cloves here, and I'm going to plant them along this bed. As you know, if you follow me for any period of time, I overplant. I plant things way too closely per rules that I don't believe in, and I always have excellent harvests, and you can see, I'll link a harvest video for this last year where I got these cloves, and you guys can check that out. A few things about the bed preparation. I got up here with a short spade and just double dug the soil so it's nice and soft. Something you might be tempted to do is start to remove all these roots if you're reusing a bed that you used for something else last year. These roots are mostly sunflower seeds. This is where my tomatoes and tomatillos were. But leave these. They're going to rot and enrich the soil, so don't go around pulling these all out. If you think they're going to regrow and it's something you don't want, go ahead and pull them. But if it's just the dead root, leave it. Just leave it and let it rot in there. You can mix it under the soil. I just kind of let things fall where they may, and I think that's good enough. My cloves here, I've got 3 different kinds I'm going to show you right now, and 4, we'll say 4, even though there's 4. Let's take a look. Okay, here. 5, let's say 5. Ta-da. So what I have here is a nice round single clove, and what this is a first year elephant garlic. So you'll get a head of elephant garlic with a bunch of cloves on it, and if you take one of these and plant it, the next year you'll get this. And if you leave that alone, the following year you'll get a whole head with a bunch of cloves. So I've saved some of the individual cloves I'm going to plant, and then I have, let's see, a couple of these that I'm going to plant and mark them so we can see what they look like next year, but these should turn into full regular heads of elephant garlic. Elephant garlic is actually a member of the lily family, so it doesn't function exactly like what we're used to in garlic. And what this is a head of a hardneck garlic. This is a really big head, clove. Here is the same garlic. See, it's got the little purple on it, and it is the same garlic, and it is just from a smaller head. So I'm going to plant some gigantic ones and some smaller ones. I like the smaller ones in general for stews and things like that, where I'll just cut the whole head after it's planted in half and throw it into a stew or a stock, and then just strain it out when I'm done. But these are the kinds that are best for slicing. So hardnecks have this hard part in the middle where the cloves all attach around it, like that. And so that's the way you can tell the difference between a hard neck and a soft neck. They also store pretty well. And then finally, I have just a white varietal with a little blush on it, and this was a soft neck, which is what you're used to buying in the grocery store. Okay, so how do we plant these things? I'll use this big one because it's easier to look at. Pointy end up, root end down at the bottom. Let's see, let me get back to my thing here. So this was the root end, and it's attached here, and it had all those little roots hanging down. Yeah, little roots hanging down like that. And how deep do you plant these? So you want to plant it twice as deep as it is tall. So it's about 1 inch, so I'm going to plant it about 2 inches deep. This is maybe 1/2 inch, so I'm going to plant it 1 inch deep, right? So twice as deep as it is tall, and that's a general rule for anything. So make sure the dirt is friable, twice as deep as it is tall, pointy end up. And I don't know, you're supposed to space them like 5 or 6 inches apart, but I don't. I've got like I said, about 200 cloves here. Let's see how far I end up spacing them. Some people will also say don't plant them if they're starting to turn green. I plant them anyway and they grow, so I just don't eat them like that. But you can go ahead and plant these. Okay, so we've got everything all planted in here, a couple hundred clove heads, and then what I'm going to do as a final step is put these wire cages in here to keep my dog out of the bed. And what I do is I take those big fencing, metal fencing things, this is called hog wire, this is a little smaller, and I cut, I cut out just a section and I leave the bottom, so it was just like this. Then I cut here and here, so I had another cage at the bottom, just like this. You see that? Just like that. Cut them apart, and then I just rolled them together to make just a cage. You can use these for tomato cages or whatever you'd like something to grow on. But they'll keep her from jumping into the beds. And if I need to keep the birds out, what I'll do is take one of those $1 Mylar blankets, you know, we get, and cut it up. It's cheaper than using the wind tape. You get hundreds of pieces out, and then I'll put that up there too. As long as you move them around a little bit, the birds won't get too used to them, and they'll scatter. So anyway, that's how we do garlic. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.